The facts, dates, and events presented in this video and or podcast are from the members' best recollection and may not be fully accurate. This video and or podcast is intended for entertainment purposes only. Always consult with your local union about your rights and duties at your workplace. The opinions shared on this video and or podcast by myself or any of the guests that appear on here are our own and does not necessarily represent our employers' positions, strategies, or opinions. All views shared are protected under the National Labor Relations Act. Thank you. Now let's get into the show. And welcome back. It's your boy E. Eric Robinson here with the good old famous Rhett Dillard. Oh, Charger fan for life here, man. You've been a fan since 78?
78, yes. I think that was a little bit before you were born.
Man, oh yes, a whole year. A whole year. I was born in 79.
Wow, I remember that year.
Man, good night, man. That's crazy. Man, Rhett, man, you was with the company for a very long time. You got started with the company when?
Towards the end of 92, October 92 is when I started as a part-timer at UPS.
Wow, goodness gracious. So you went through the strike?
Yes, I was there, yeah.
Oh, wow. How was that, man? Seeing that we're coming up on one, how was that?
That was real interesting, seeing all the people that refused to work so that we could get better working conditions, more full-time jobs and better conditions.
Wow, man, that is awesome. How long did you work total for the company?
28 years.
Wow, goodness gracious. So you've seen a lot of change between then and now.
Absolutely. I've seen a lot of change in technology, and I've also seen a lot of change in terms of the representation that we get from our local union.
I was going to say that because coming from like 92, 93, all the way up till now, there has to be a major change because, 92, 93 era, you're a little bit closer to Hoffa's time, and Teamsters at that time was, very strong. And now the fight that we used to have then, it may not translate over. So I want to speak about some of the changes that you've seen with our local as far as when it comes to like fighting or anything that you may want to inform us of and the difference. And you actually ran with us the last election, 2019. And so, man, and at that time we was promising a better representation because you've seen better representation. So, man, just inform some of the members about how it was then compared to now. Because you used to get, when you filed a grievance, you actually used to get a letter.
Absolutely. There was a huge difference about 20 years ago. We actually have something called an executive board of 7 members who represent the whole local. Now, years ago, we only had one full-timer on there. That was the secretary-treasurer. And every other person was a part-timer to run the union, but then they worked in their craft, whether it be Costco, UPS, or whatever it may be. And we had the business agent we had, which was Chris Dunn. He represented 3 buildings plus feeder. And there was a lot more fight in those days than there is now with, I think they have like 3 business agents now. But there was a lot more fight back then in terms of, fighting for, what's right.
You're
I mean,
right.
certain things you don't, but I mean, if it's in the contract or
it's clear.
It's clear, or sometimes it's not, but you said, hey, it could be, this right here, this language could fit that, and you fight for it. But now it's just like a lot of side deals.
In our personal opinion, are being made. Because, dude, when it takes 3 years, they were running around talking about they had this big win for combo drivers being used as full-time drivers. And it took them 3 years to ratify or get an answer on that, man. And what's so sad about that, Red, is that they failed to even ask for a remedy.
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
This is what we're dealing with, Red. I'm telling you, this is what we're dealing with. They put forward a argument. They put forward this argument, and they don't ask for a remedy. And this is supposed to be the experience slate.
Yes, I remember.
Gosh.
It was a few years ago now when they first came up with the 70-hour rule that they wanted to enforce it just out of nowhere. The local actually put up on a wall in our building saying that they were thinking about filing a labor charge.
Thinking.
Well, what are you thinking about? If you just do it. You know, it was a unilateral change in the middle of the contract. We had never negotiated before. New conditions need to be negotiated. They didn't do that. They just did it, and the local said, "Okay, we're thinking about it. We're kind of thinking about it. Just do it. All right. You're getting paid to represent the members, so just do it.
Yeah,
that's your job.
And you're filing the paperwork with the hopes of, you know, maybe it gets up to the international and they'll ratify the situation. If you may not have the guns to do it, there are individuals who would have supported them in getting an answer. This is why whether you win or lose, you still fight.
Yes. You can push it to arbitration, have an arbitrator, an impartial judge who's outside of the grievance system, because the grievance system at UPS, at least, it's 3 managers and 3 union people who
come together.
Yeah. They're not outside, impartial outside. You know, they have these grievance, you know, like these panels that they go to,
right,
where they go to hotels and like in different areas, and they eat in the same restaurants. There's a pool there where there's a common area where they're engaging with each other.
No separation.
There's no separation.
Fraternizing and everything.
There's no impartiality.
They're like, hey, who are we going to burn today? You know?
Yeah. In my opinion, there's a lot of side deals that are made at these types of panels, as opposed to you're just going to give it to an impartial judge to arbitrate the decision. Is this legal or is it not legal? That's it.
Right.
And they take their time, but they give you an impartial decision.
And that is totally different. This is why we were voting for Zuckerman and O'Brien to get in, is because we were tired of that type of handling and processing of grievances. It seemed like people are just sick and tired of the same old. We come into work, contract gets violated. You're trying to go and fight for change. Your business agent doesn't seem to want to take the argument. And then when you do send it in, there seems to be no fight. And, man, I don't know about you, Rhett, but I remember when I first came in, man, I came in 2000. At that time, I remember, I can't remember what I got in trouble for. But that day, the business agent was coming in. And I went into the office. I didn't know what was going on. This guy came in and, bro, you want to talk about yelling at the top of his lungs. You're not gonna freaking do that to him. You're gonna abide by the contract. Where did you ever write him up? So you never gave him any verbal warning? And I'm like, I'm young, right? I'm like, what is going on here, man? I'm gonna get fired because I didn't know what was going on, man.
Right.
And dude, by the time we got done and we walked out, he goes, all right, nothing's gonna happen to you, man. Go ahead. And I'm like, what just happened? And I got his name, and his name was Chris Dunn, bro.
Yes, Chris Dunn was certainly a fighter.
He was a beast.
We have a huge difference in the representation we are currently getting and what we used to have, about 15 years ago. Mm-hmm. What a lot of people don't understand is when you're representing people in terms of grievance meetings, if you're representing them, you have a legal right to get confrontational with them. You can call them a liar. There's certain limits on what you can do, but you can get confrontational because according to the law, you are equal with the employer when you're representing somebody. Yes.
And a lot of people don't know that. A lot of shop stewards don't know that either. Matter of fact, I was having a discussion with one, and I said, man, I can tell you who you are by who your enemies are. And if you're fraternizing, sitting in the office with management, laughing, going to have a beer with these guys, how is it that you're going to actually represent me when you're friends with them? It's crazy to me, man.
It doesn't make sense. It should be business.
It's business. That's all it is. It's business.
Yeah.
And I have a right I should be representing my member to the best ability. And when you get into those meetings, you can respond in like manner. So whatever level that the manager goes to, you can respond in like manner when you are a shop steward because you're on equal footing.
Absolutely.
But now, man, I don't know what we got, man. I'm telling you, it's like the lollipop kids. I'm telling you, man, I can't take it. The lollipop kids.
Oh, yeah, the Wizard of Oz, I get
it. I can't take it, man. I'm telling you, man. You get to looking at these individuals, and the first thing that I see is that they'll file a grievance and they don't know what they're filing it for, or they don't know how to fight. Or they'll have to ask, like, yo, can I file this grievance? And it's a clear violation.
Right.
And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? When you see something wrong, stand up and fight.
Yes.
But man, it's sad now. The way that our local has changed from someone like Chris Dunn, man, this dude was an animal, man, when it came to representing. Dude, he used to come in the unload. I'm not sure if you remember this. This dude used to come in the unload. And they prohibited him from getting up into the trucks to talk. This dude went out the next day, Rhett, and got a bullhorn. Hey, Robinson, how you doing in there, huh?
Wow, that's right.
Are they messing with you or anything? Do you need any representation? Man, I was like, this dude is nuts, bro. Yeah. Man, but that, you knew that he had your best interest in mind, you know? And when it came to grievances, if you remember, I got a letter letting you know where everything was at. So as soon as I filed, man, this dude would type up a letter.
Absolutely.
Hey, I got your letter. This is where it's at. And kept us informed. Now, Rhett, it feels like they're keeping us in the dark.
Absolutely. I used to get those letters all the time. And sometimes, he would write me a letter saying, okay, your grievance lacked merit. And that's fine. Just let me know. And the other one is, okay, this is how it's going. You won this or you didn't win this. Keep us informed and in a timely manner, too.
Right.
Yeah.
And the good thing, Rhett, is that even if you tell me that my grievance lacks merit, you at least took the time to search through the contract to find out if I had something to stand on. Because I don't want to waste the company's time and my time fighting something that's not worth fighting for.
Absolutely. I'm seeing over the last more recent years where there's a lot of delaying and like just getting back with a member and trying to delay things like over 6 months. And I think that has a lot to do with, there's a 6-month period where you can actually file a labor charge. So a lot of these grievances are just being stalled out so that route cannot be taken by a member.
Mm-hmm. It actually, a similar situation happened to me. I went to Feeder. Man, they had me working earlier and earlier, started off at one time, and it got earlier and earlier. And I didn't mind because, it's extra work and whatnot. And so finally, dude, I was starting almost 5 hours before the original start time in the middle of my probation, And so, dude, I ended up going home one day for Thanksgiving. I head home, all the way from San Marcos. And I could not get to sleep. I get home, man, that sleeping pattern gets thrown off. I can make a phone call or I send them a text. Hey, first at noon, I said, hey, let me know. I'm about to lay down if you need me to come in early. Then later on, I couldn't go to sleep. Dude, I was up all day. It would have been unsafe for me to be in that truck. So I sent him a message. Hey, I won't be able to volunteer my services tonight. I've been up. It's unsafe for me to be behind the wheel. Boom, sent it. Man, did you know they disqualified me the next following day?
Wow, you were just thinking about the safety of our people. That's part of our policy.
And at that time, Dwayne was representing me, man. And this dude, we get into the panel. He waits almost 6 months.
Yeah, familiar pattern.
6 months, dude. I think it was a little bit over 6 months. I filed that in November. It didn't happen until June of the next year, June or July of the next year. And so when we got there, this dude goes, this is the defense he had for me. Eric Robinson's been working here for so many years and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And Eric Robinson will speak.
This is who we're paying to represent us?
This Rhett, I'm looking at this dude like, no, you're going to do some work. I already dug out the sections. I dug out the articles. I showed you I'm showing this dude how to fight. I done filed almost 6 grievances, man. Showed him where we need to take the fight to. We get in there and he looks at me and he goes, Eric will take it from here. This is what we pay for, Rhett. This is what we pay for, man. I can't take it. So the representation is most definitely lacking from what it used to be, and I just wish that, dude, well, I'm glad, now we're where we're at because we actually have individuals who actually do care votemembersformembers.com. I mean, vote members for members this year, because man, we're trying to bring that same greatness that we used to have, and even better, to our local. Man, we want a strong workforce. We want someone that, a group of individuals that are very knowledgeable and they're able to help one another. And when you get a workforce like that, dude, you will be able to defend yourself no matter what comes up. If it's harassment, if it's retaliation, if it's 9-5, if it's overweights, dude, we will all. It's the culture. This local has created a apathetic culture, and dude, we need to change that. We need to change the culture and make it so we're looking out for one another, and that's what Members for Members, I believe, is fighting for. Because you ran in the last race, so is that what you guys were fighting for then?
Yes, we're trying to build the union from the ground up. In my viewpoint, what happens is the companies, they're not stupid, they're smart. They start, getting buddy with our representatives, because it's easier to get something going with them as opposed to getting what's fair for the members in total.
Yes.
So, maybe you start them off with, a gift here or there, and to the point where
you bottom.
The representative is more loyal to the company than what their job is. It was just to represent the member.
Yes, and they seem to forget that. They've gotten into such a such a great position for themselves that now they're selling out their members. They don't know how to represent. It's sad, dude. I mean, even in my building, dude, they no longer go to the shop stewards. The shop stewards now have to actively find individuals to get to work, because they know that election year is coming. So now all of a sudden they're trying to get busy, and they're like, hey, we're representing you. Just file a grievance. And now they're filing grievances for no reason, Rhett. And it's taking them 2 years.
What? Wow. 2 years? to settle some agreements?
That big win came from 2019, Rhett.
Wow.
That's where that big win came from, 2019.
I think that was the last election.
That was the last. Oh my God. Man, I'm telling you, it's sad the situation that we're in. But man, there's hope.
Absolutely there is.
There's hope, man. Vote Members for Members, Rhett. Thank you for coming on, man.
No problem, brother.
Greatly. Hey, man, I always have a good time talking to you, man. We always have a blast. Goodness. Man, vote Members for Members for positive change, man. We're going to fight for you guys, man. We're going to make this local great. So you guys have yourself, I don't know if that's illegal to say. Can I say that, Rhett? Make your union great again? Oh, no. I don't know if I'm going to say that. How about take back your union?
There you go.
Yeah, or take back your local. We already took back the union on the international level. Now we're doing it on the local level, man.
Let's build it from the ground up.
From the ground up, man. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys for your support. You guys are awesome. Vote Members for Members. Have a great night.